Hey everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash and today I'm doing a quick review for Shoulders of Giants on Xbox. Let's jump into it. Shoulders of Giants is an explosively colourful sci-fi roguelite in which you control a sword-wielding mech controlled by a gunslinging space frog that stands on its shoulders. Now, this is a game you can play alone, with a friend, or as part of a four-person team, and basically you have to rescue the galaxy from the forces of Entropy. Now, in this game, it is a roguelite, so you're always trying to not die because you'll sort of lose your sort of progress every time you die. Now, basically the story is the forces of Entropy are spreading chaos throughout the stars, they corrupt planets, and they're basically stealing like all of the sort of things from the universe. So you're part of this team that's led by a psychic owl, I'm not lying, and you're basically, imagine the Guardians of the Galaxy but with like different types of animals basically and robots. And you basically have to go to a variety of different planets that are sort of like generated, they're always randomised and stuff like that. Complete missions and sort of clear out these planets, defeat all the enemies, destroy certain things, etc, etc. And you get heat. Now you have to get a certain amount of heat to progress the story, but if you die, you will lose your heat, and it's backwards and forwards. The planet gets destroyed. You have to move on to another planet. That kind of thing. Now, on these planets, you get a ton of different sort of abilities for your sort of robot and your frog. You pick them up at random from defeating enemies and stuff like that. You can basically design your own move set as you play, so you can have like a move set that suits you with special abilities, more catered to how you play. Sort of maybe you're more run and gun, maybe you want to be more melee based, more defense based, stuff like that. But it can be anything from grappling hooks to glowing grenades. Now, the worlds you'll go through, there are a variety of brightly coloured worlds. Each of them, like I say, varied. However, they do get a little repetitive the further you get into the game because you'll be playing that many different worlds. One thing I must say though is I have not been able to play the multiplayer. We were only provided one copy of the game, unfortunately. I'm not complaining about that, but obviously this was prior to it coming out, so we weren't able to play any of the sort of multiplayer aspects. So, what did I think of this game? Honestly, it's pretty decent. Like I say, I'm not the biggest roguelite fan. However, this didn't feel like super roguelite to me. It felt less sort of grindy. There was multiple ways you can sort of avoid that really hardcore sort of roguelike mechanics that you find in other games, which I thought was great. Now, obviously, you do have to collect the heat. However, if you do fail, like saving the planet in these missions, and you will fail quite a lot, I failed probably a fair good quarter of the time, you will lose your heat based on whatever the planet's sort of heat rating is. So it all depends on how you're playing and stuff like that, and you've just got to sort of try and do your best. And you can pick and choose your planets depending on like, and they tell you like what sort of difficulty level it's at, so you can sort of go, oh, I don't want to lose all my progress and stuff right now, so I'll go for an easier level. I won't get as much heat, but all in all, I'll still get something, and I can keep going basically. Now, the combat is really fun in this game. I like that you can switch between like the sort of third-person shooting mechanics and then go straight into the sort of meleeing of the robot. There's a load of abilities as well, sort of like you can drop healing items that sort of refill your health. You can have decoy characters. Like one of the like abilities I had was I dropped this little decoy thing, and it's basically my little frogman having it like a having a dance, but it's like a projection of myself, sort of like a LMD or something like that from Marvel. So the enemies will attack that and leave you alone, so it can either give you time to sort of get into a better position, run away, or just fight them and kill them while they're not paying attention, basically. Now, the game does have a really cool in-depth skill tree where you can, like I say, customise your frog and your mech to basically make it your perfect gameplay style, and you can go down whichever sort of path you want. I thought that was really cool. Obviously, having a balanced setup in this sort of game works better than going like, I'm just going to go smash, I'm going to Hulk it, because like I say, you'll get further on and you're like, oh god, maybe I need to do something else. But overall, like I say, the game's pretty good. It's built around this little hub world with like characters and set areas you can interact with and stuff like that. You will find a lot of sort of repetition in the sort of core gameplay loop. It's just that type of game. It's not the worst game I've ever played. It's not the best game I've ever played. It's not the worst roguelike by any stretch of the imagination. The graphics and that look colourful, not super high quality and sort of like detail, but they're colourful, bright. They do the job. They display the varying landscapes of the different planets. You can tell one's like a lava planet and one's like a lush grass planet, etc. But the game does also feature a really great soundtrack, so that's probably one of the high points of it. Overall, though, great little game, a cool concept and a cool sort of twist on the roguelike genre, especially where you can sort of pick your own sort of worlds to visit. I like having the skill trees and being able to sort of customise it to my playstyle over it just being like a side-scrolling Metroidvania-style roguelike that most of them are nowadays. But you will end up with pretty repetitive gameplay as you progress through the game, and at some point slightly clunky controls may cause you a bit of frustration, especially when death can lead you to having to sort of restart it all again as such. Shoulders of Giants was released onto the Xbox Store on the 26th of January 2023. Developed and published by Moving Pieces Interactive, who were kind enough to send us a copy for this review. Now, it's priced at £14.99, which is a great price for this sort of size game. It's playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S, and it's optimised for Xbox Series X and S with 4K resolution, 60 FPS plus, smart delivery, and obviously it has up to 4-player online co-op. But that's it for this video, guys. Like I say, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and we will see you very soon for more gaming content. Bye for now.